There is someone in your life right now that you keep making excuses for, and deep down, you already know it. Take a breath with me for a second. Just breathe. Because what I'm about to talk to you about today is one of the most painful things a human being can go through. And I don't want to rush through it. I don't want to give you a list of tips or a 5-step formula. I just want to sit here with you, in this moment, and talk about something real. I want to talk about letting go of someone you still love. Not someone you hate. Not someone who was obviously terrible from the beginning. I'm talking about someone who mattered to you. Someone whose laugh you still hear in your head. Someone whose number you've almost dialed 100 times. Someone who, if they called you right now, part of you would pick up. That kind of letting go. And here's what nobody tells you about that kind of letting go: it doesn't feel like freedom at first. It feels like loss. It feels like grief. It feels like you made the wrong decision, even when every single part of your life is telling you that you made the right one. So if you're in that space right now, I need you to hear me say this clearly. You are not weak for still feeling this. You are not broken for missing them. You are not confused or foolish or dramatic. You are a human being who loved someone, and love doesn't just evaporate because you made a hard decision. But I also need you to hear this next part just as clearly. Your peace is not negotiable. And somewhere along the way, you started negotiating it. You started trading pieces of your calm, your confidence, your clarity, just to keep this person comfortable. Just to keep the relationship intact. Just to avoid the conversation or the silence or the ending that felt too heavy to face. And I want to ask you something, gently. I want you to think back to the last time you felt genuinely at peace. Not happy, necessarily. Just settled. Calm. Like you could breathe all the way down to the bottom of your lungs. When was that? For a lot of people in this situation, that moment of peace was before. Before this relationship took the shape it took. Before the walking on eggshells. Before the checking your phone with anxiety instead of excitement. Before you started shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's comfort zone. And I think somewhere inside you, you've connected those dots. That's why you're watching this. That's why something in this title stopped you. So let's talk about what actually happens to us when we stay too long. When we hold on to a connection that is no longer feeding us, we don't just feel tired. We start to forget who we are. It's a slow thing. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens in small moments. You stop mentioning certain dreams because you know they'll be dismissed. You stop inviting certain friends around because it causes tension. You stop laughing as loudly, dressing the way you like, taking up the space you used to take up so naturally. You become a smaller version of yourself. And the terrifying thing is, you don't even notice it happening. You just look up one day and think, I don't remember the last time I felt like me. And maybe the relationship isn't even violent or obviously abusive. Maybe it's just draining. Maybe it's the constant emotional unpredictability. Maybe it's the way they make you feel guilty for having needs. Maybe it's the subtle criticism dressed up as jokes. Maybe it's the love that comes in waves, warm enough to keep you hoping, but never consistent enough to make you feel safe. That kind of relationship is one of the hardest to leave, because it's not all bad. And humans are wired to hold on to hope. We will endure a tremendous amount of pain for the occasional moment of warmth. That's not a character flaw. That is literally how we are built. But here is what I need you to understand. You deserve consistency. You deserve a love that doesn't require you to brace yourself. You deserve relationships, friendships, connections, where you don't have to earn your place every single day. Where your presence is wanted, not just tolerated. Where you can be fully yourself and not spend 3 hours afterward wondering if you said something wrong. You deserve that. Not someday. Not after you fix yourself enough or change enough or love them better. Now. You deserve it now, exactly as you are. So why is it so hard to let go? I think there are a few reasons, and I want to name them honestly because I think naming them helps. The first one is hope. We stay because we believe it could go back to how it was in the beginning. Or we believe it could become what we always imagined it could be. And hope is beautiful, but when hope is the only thing keeping you in a situation that is hurting you, it becomes a cage. It keeps you waiting for a version of this relationship that may never arrive. The second reason is identity. Sometimes we have been in this connection for so long that we don't know who we are without it. The relationship has become part of how we understand ourselves. And walking away feels like losing not just them, but ourselves. Which, I'll be honest with you, is partially true. You will have to rediscover yourself. But the person you find on the other side of that? They are more you than the version you've been pretending to be. The third reason is guilt. We stay because we feel responsible for them. Because we know their pain, their backstory, their wounds. Because we love them and we don't want to be the cause of their suffering. And I say this with so much compassion, you cannot carry another person's healing at the expense of your own. You cannot pour yourself empty trying to fix someone who hasn't decided they want to be fixed. That is not love. That is sacrifice without sustainability, and it will hollow you out completely. And the fourth reason, and this one is the one we don't talk about enough, is fear. Fear that nothing better is coming. Fear that this is as good as it gets. Fear that you'll be alone and that being alone means something is wrong with you. Fear that you waited too long, gave too much, and walking away means it was all for nothing. I want to speak directly to that fear right now. Being alone, truly alone, in your own peace, in your own quiet, in your own becoming, is not the worst thing that can happen to you. Losing yourself while surrounded by someone else's noise? That is far more isolating. I have spoken with hundreds of people who have been in relationships for years and described a loneliness so deep it scared them. Because the loneliness of being misunderstood by the person who was supposed to know you best, that loneliness cuts differently. Choosing yourself is not selfish. Choosing your peace is not giving up. Letting go is not failure. Letting go is sometimes the bravest, most loving thing you can do. For yourself. And yes, even for them. Because when you stop enabling a dynamic that isn't working, when you stop showing up for a connection that diminishes you, you give both people the chance to grow into something truer. Now I want to talk to you about what comes after. Because this is the part people don't talk about enough. They talk about the decision to let go, but they don't always walk you through what it actually feels like. It feels like grief. Real, physical, heavy grief. Some days you will be fine and you will feel proud of yourself and you will breathe easier than you have in months. And other days you will see something that reminds you of them and your chest will ache in a way that makes you question everything. Both of those days are normal. Both of those days are part of healing. Healing is not linear. It is not a straight path from pain to peace. It is messy and non-linear, and it doubles back on itself. And sometimes the hardest part of healing is resisting the urge to reach back toward what was familiar, even when familiar was hurting you. So here is what I want you to do. Not as an assignment. Not as pressure. But as a gentle invitation. I want you to start reclaiming small pieces of yourself. Not all at once. Just small pieces. Start doing the thing you stopped doing. The hobby you quietly abandoned. The friend you've been meaning to call. The place you used to love to visit. The music that used to make you feel like yourself. Start returning to those things. Not because they will fill the hole immediately, but because they are breadcrumbs back to who you actually are. I want you to protect your quiet. When the urge comes to check their profile, to reread the old messages, to drive past their house, I want you to pause and ask yourself, is this healing me or is this keeping the wound open? Give yourself permission to stop picking at it. I want you to be patient with yourself. Healing takes as long as it takes. There is no deadline. There is no right pace. The only thing that matters is that you are moving, even slowly, in the direction of yourself. And I want you to talk to someone. A friend, a counselor, a community. You were not meant to carry this alone. There is something profound that happens when you say out loud, in front of another human being, this was hurting me, and I am choosing better for myself. There is power in being witnessed. There is power in not being alone in your healing. You know what I have seen, again and again, in people who have done this work? Who have made the hard choice to let go of something that was costing them their peace. I have seen people come back to themselves in ways that take their own breath away. I have seen people remember passions they thought they'd lost forever. I have seen people build friendships of such depth and authenticity that they look back and realize they had no idea what real connection could feel like. I have seen people fall in love again, with themselves first, and then with others, in ways that are calm and kind and reciprocal and safe. That is available to you. I promise you that is available to you. Not because the pain goes away immediately. Not because the grief doesn't come. But because on the other side of this, there is a version of your life where you wake up and you are not bracing yourself. Where your nervous system is not constantly on alert. Where you know your own value and you stop allowing spaces that make you forget it. That version of your life is real. And it is waiting for you. So today, I want you to do one thing. Just one thing. I want you to give yourself permission. Permission to want peace more than you want to hold on. Permission to outgrow something that no longer fits. Permission to grieve and still move forward. Permission to believe that letting go of the wrong thing is always making room for something right. You are not abandoning love by choosing yourself. You are teaching yourself what love should feel like. And that is one of the most healing things a human being can do. If this reached you today, if something in here cracked something open a little bit, I want to hear from you. Drop a word in the comments. Just one word about where you are right now. Or tell me, what is the one thing you are holding on to that you know, deep in your gut, it's time to release? Your comment might be the thing that helps someone else reading tonight realize they are not alone. And if you want to go deeper, if you want more conversations like this one, more healing, more truth, more of this kind of slow, real, compassionate space, come find us at dealerofhappiness.org. Because happiness isn't something that happens to you. It's something you choose, one brave, tender, courageous act at a time. You deserve your peace back. Go get it.